Maybe try 3, this will work. Hello everyone, I am Janelle in SLP Peep, and this is the SLP channel where we talk about all things speech-language pathology related, including articulation. Now for those people that notice that there is something a little different about this video, I had a lot going on these past few weeks, and this is actually a new setup. If you are interested in this sort of content, please hit that like and subscribe button, and let's move on. Are there common trends that speech-language pathologists see with articulation disorders? The short answer is yes, and the long answer is there are so many. Some articulation disorders become disorders as soon as a child turns 3. These are called phonological processes. Sometimes they linger on, and so it's a phonological processing disorder or phonological process disorder, which kind of does fall under the articulation realm because it's phonological. It's a sound, and we need to work on it. Most of these phonological processes get resolved. Some of them linger on. I will not be going into all the phonological processes that should be done by age 3, mainly the ones I see a lot and some things that are pretty easy to tell that you might want to get checked out if you notice that there is a child in your care that does this and it's their 3rd birthday or later. The first one, well, technically it's the first 2, but I'm combining it into one, is reduction. What do I mean about this? So one part of this will be syllable reduction. The next is blend reduction. I just got a whole lot lighter because the sun decided to come out, and now I'm darker again. Let's take a few examples. The most common syllable reduction that I see is the word balloon being turned into boon, bloon, bloon, if they have the L, boo, woon, oon. You get the idea. It's just a lot of 2-syllable words gets condensed down to 1. The cutest, and I'm biased on this one, syllable reduction I've actually heard was my name, Janelle, and the child decided to reduce it to jail. So why do children reduce the syllables? Well, it's a lot easier to do, and for children that have a lot to say and they want to get it all out at once, or even if they don't have a lot to say but they want to get it out, they reduce. Do we do this as adults, or at least older than children? Yes. Do people still understand us when we do these syllable reductions? Yes. That is where the difference is. Now, what do I mean by us as big kids? Also do this in our real life. Where do you store your food to keep it cool? If you end up saying fridge, you just gave a nickname that took out syllables from a refrigerator. On the other side of the reduction, it's the blend reduction. And this is where things like blue becomes boo, or black becomes back. It's when there are 2 consonants that are together and it gets reduced to 1. Fronting and backing are 2 more phonological processes. I'm going to struggle with that this whole video. Phonological backing or fronting is moving the sounds that are generally created in the back of the mouth forward, this one's fronting, or taking the sounds that are generally produced in the front of the mouth and move them back. That one is called backing. Gliding. So gliding is considered a substitute. Sometimes these substitutes are very important even after the age of 3, even though most ought to be kind of like resolved by age 3, but sometimes they linger on because the sound is not yet developmentally appropriate by age 3. What do I mean by this? Well, earlier this month I talked about the and the I will use those as examples. Now, depending on the norms or the study that was done, sometimes these sounds do not come in until as late as 8 years old. Again, depending on the study you use, sometimes they come in as early as 5, in which some insurance companies will actually approve speech therapy for a 5-year-old to work on their sounds. This substitution process is normally called gliding, in which R's and L's, which in the speech therapy world are called liquids, become W, or a glide sound. Seriously, check out this chart. We have names for pretty much everything in our world. Now, what does this sound like? Whenever you're saying a word and there's an R or an L at the beginning or middle of a word, generally speaking, these will turn into W. If there's an R or an L at the end of a word, it will either turn into a vowel. This is technically vowelization, not gliding, but we'll get there when we get there. Or the R/L will be dropped. As a speech language pathologist, we want them to have the W substitute for Ls and Rs if they're not at that age time when they should have already acquired it. What that W does before the child is able to produce an L or an is stand as a bookmark. Yes, I just said bookmark. Or a placeholder for that L or sound. And when the child is able to produce the L or sound, for the most part, they will take out that W and insert whichever sound is supposed to be there, whether it's the L or the That was a lot about articulation, and I hope it all flowed very well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them down below. And for the question of the day, what phrase do you think will be hilarious to say? Fronting, backing, gliding, you get to pick it. What phrase do you think would be hilarious with an articulation disorder? I will let you know. I actually have an activity that I love to do with my articulation kids because they end up saying all the words incorrectly. And it's kind of fun, and it gives everyone a break. And it's a pirate ship where you can shoot ducks. Just imagine saying that with a whole bunch of articulation disorders, and you'll understand why that's hilarious to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a terrific day. Please remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, bye-bye.